she told me she was going to go, so I asked her about it, and then it turned out she was going to go. So, yeah. We've been walking together, so we have lots of time to chat about this, that, and the other thing. That's good.
You want to give me signatures?
I'll look it up. Well, they were sent on a different train.
I'll make a motion to approve the Mayfield Township Board meeting minutes of June 10th, 2024 as presented.
Support.
All fair side?
Aye.
Next treasurer report.
Treasury report is short week on 2 days.
Okay, on public time, public time.
Leslie Dents. I viewed the videotape of our recent annual meeting to catch up on anything I might have missed while things were going on, because it was quite busy here. One thing struck me, that residents that asked questions got some answers, and I think that's really great, except me. I asked a number of questions, and I didn't get any response during the meeting, but I also have not had any follow-up from any board member or township employee, and I realized there was a holiday in there, and that might be why. But I'm gonna go through some of my concerns again, and maybe I'll be able to get some information. First of all, is this the correct board to address about the need for the weather alert siren that can be heard on Plum Creek Road? Or is there some other agency or body that I should bring up that concern to? Because that was a concern of one of our residents. When will you be amending the budget to include the recent court judgment, and where's that money gonna come from? I had asked how much Mr. Gildner has been paid for handling the various lawsuits that we're involved in. There was a question from somebody else about what company was hired to review the master plan, and at the time, you didn't know for sure what the name was, and I was interested in that information as well. And I wanted to know where we are in the process of developing the new master plan. I asked about the status of the donated property, a potential donated property. I think it was on Davis Lake Road or off Davis Lake Road. Where are we in the process of developing the new website? Do we have any updates? I know it takes some time. And ARPA money, we know what the final amount was, and we know what some of the proposed projects were, but I believe that we spent some of it already on a road project, and I'm under the impression that road project has been completed and paid for, but I noticed on the most recent treasurer's report that the ARPA funds are still listed as that $827,000 amount. So maybe on the new report, it'll reflect that, but the last one that I looked at still had that total, and I thought we had paid for a road project already. That's correct, okay. We have already taken some of that money for that project. Okay, thank you. I've got one answer, I'm not gonna get any other answers. Okay. Julie, noted.
Karen Brishenko. I live in the village of Metamora, but my parents are Mayfield Township residents and have been for decades, and I grew up in Mayfield Township. I want to express how really appalled I was at how the annual meeting was run. I haven't been in years past, and I heard this one was actually an improvement. I have seen some very heated meetings in my day, and I've seen them run so much better than that one was. Not giving us an agenda, so then people are like, well, when do we get public time for this? What's going to be happening? You know, just like I don't have an agenda for today because we have to save money and not run off copies for things. It's a kindness that you do, and it's basic communication with your constituents, having an agenda. So we all know what's going on. We know what to expect, that kind of thing, and just keeping basic order. Now, the lawyer that you have all chosen for this municipality is someone who I can tell you, based on things I've personally seen him do, I would never hire. Absolutely would not take legal advice from that man. But seeing how he did not run that meeting as well as every other municipal lawyer that I have seen run meetings, for instance, Judge Nolan, when he was lawyer for Metamora Township, took on some very heated meetings, did an excellent job. Gildner is nowhere in that class. You should have set expectations at the beginning, told people what the rules are so then we all know and so things are fair. Engelman, you requested that people be respectful. And then guess what? It was the back row tending to be very disrespectful. And the person whose conduct I've heard the most comments about was Jamie's, an employee of this township, who I was appalled that, yes, you get to have an opinion, you can express an opinion, but not in a way that overtakes and really bullies over the people who are trying to speak. You could do so much better if you tried. There was no amplification. We know the township owns an amplification system. Got 100 people in a room. You can bet a lot of those older folks, and some of the younger ones too, are hard of hearing. Use the amplification. Be decent to the people here. Engelman, I saw your email to Leslie. Leslie shared that with some folks because she was concerned about her safety and she was concerned about what you wrote in it. That is an appalling way to address anyone. You are in the wrong job. This is just not your forte. I'm sure there are plenty of things in the world that you're good at. This is not it. The way that you structured the meeting of having a motion and then people comment on it sways people. That is not a fair way to do it. That is not how that should have been structured. And just basically allowing the bullying that went on. One side was privileged over another side. One side got questions answered and the other side didn't. Don't think we didn't notice. Don't think we can't tell what's going on here. Thank you.
recycling, we have, somebody on the recycling program.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we got a couple of things that we'd like to talk about in terms of recycling for the county. I'm from my name's Pat Butterly. I live in Mayfield Township. I'm with the Lapeer County Drop-Off Recycling, which is a 501, I always get this wrong, it's a 501c4 nonprofit that focuses on providing recycling opportunities for citizens in the county. And we have a bunch of partners that allow us to do this, including Rick Ryan Disposal, Habitat for Humanity, where we conduct the drop-off recycling of the first and third Saturday of each month. Nextrex Corporation, which allows us to recycle plastic film with them, like you drop off bags at the grocery store, for example. Well, we accept those at the Lapeer County Drop-Off Recycling, and they make those into things like benches back here that I had to show you. Another big partner with us is the Dart Corporation, which helps us recycle styrofoam. And like I said, we do this on the first and third Saturday of each month. And we get quite a few cars coming through the drop-off recycling, between 250, 300 cars each time we conduct this. And it takes about a dozen volunteers to run the program, along with some employees from Rick Ryan each time we do it. And just some example of some numbers, in 2023, we had recycling collected from over 6,000 vehicles. And the reason that we're really here today is actually to thank Mayfield Township for their participation in the program. And what I mean by that is we charge residents $4 for each car that comes through the system to drop off recycling, to help cover our expenses of moving the material and all that kind of stuff. And townships, certain townships have chosen to pay for their residents to do this. And by far the biggest contributor has been Mayfield Township, so we thank you from the bottom of our heart for that. That's a really good deal. Those that don't have the townships pay, they have to pay out of their own pocket that $4. But one of the things that we'd like to show our appreciation is by presenting this bench to the township. This is a bench that we get after we collect a certain number of pounds of that plastic film, those bags and whatnot. And the Nextrex Corporation builds a bench and sends us to it. And we'd like the township to have this. We're also we would like to be able to put a plaque on that bench that says donated by Lapeer County Drop-Off Recycling, and we'd like to do that in memory of Jim Davis, who was one of those people that really started the recycling program, along with Pete McCready and a couple other folks a number of years ago. And you had some information that was specific to the township, right?
And this is just a handout for just some
General
basic
information on the
information.
recycling program.
And for all of you who are here and you're interested, I have the same document if you're interested in recycling. I'll just put it over here if you want to grab it.
Yeah.
But for the township board, I did want to just give just a couple of factoids, nothing too long. By far, as Pat said, Mayfield Township is the biggest contributors. Our residents really do an amazing job. And in 2023, you can see from the document that Mayfield Township was a big contributor at 2,807, and compare that to even a short year in 2022, where we were at just under 2,000 vehicles, and we're on pace in 2024 to surpass 2023 by maybe even 50 cars even. And the biggest year of all so far was 2016. It was over 3,000 residents there's been a lot of partial years back and forth and.
COVID put a damper on things.
And so we're trying to kind of build back up again from when COVID hit. And it looks like those numbers are back on the upward trajectory again, which is really great. But, I mean, you can see from the numbers in the chart that we handed out, Mayfield is hands down the biggest user, which is fantastic. And,
So we thank you.
yeah, very, very much.
There was a number of people who were volunteering.
Labor and love, that's for sure.
Thank you for the donation, really appreciate it.
So are you looking to put a plaque on the back of the?
Yeah, they'll just be right there on the,
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
bench.
Because I think that would be really cool. We actually had started a program and we're on the finish line and they called and said, we're out.
Oh,
And the board meeting that I had to explain that to the board, Jim was in the audience. And so he ended up coming into the office. He said, would you have a problem with me looking into, and I'm like, no, we would be excited.
yeah.
Because it's really evolved into something better than it was going to be initially. Because a lot of the townships were going to have, those, what am I called,
It's like-
not the dumpsters, but the,
Right.
yeah.
Just
Like
recycling
containers.
kiosks, yeah,
Recycling
yes.
containers.
And we were really concerned, actually I think Beth was, that people are going to come and just dump their garbage off.
Yeah, it is a concern.
It's a big concern for sure, because one of the biggest issues with recycling, in order to be able to use the materials, you have to have a clean stream product. And some folks from the organization have visited where the recycling material goes down in the Detroit area. And they have a tremendous amount of respect for Rick Ryan and his crew because they bring some of the cleanest recycling that they see to that facility. So
Now, we are pretty filthy by the time we leave. Recycling looks pretty good.
The board did indicate, I think it's open this beginning of July through the state for the funds for the tire recycling. There's
Oh.
an application.
Oh, that would be great. There
We
is no
missed-
place for tires.
We missed it last year, so I think it opened July 1st, it closes sometime in August to try. I think it's $2,000 or $2,500 maybe to put towards that. Peyton Meyer said there's room out there for a semi truck
Yeah.
to gather some tires, so.
I think they're just using tires on the road, but in the asphalt. They stopped and went, the road was just like it, because the road's held up at about 10. And they did it, it's probably almost 15 years now, the road still looks like they put it down, but I don't think the road builders like that. Because the
Well,
road
yeah,
lasts.
roads, yeah.
And I know the governor said something about starting that program again, put that used tire road into the asphalt, makes it more flexible, makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's
See
great.
what happens.
Yeah. Excellent.
I'd like to recognize our receptionist, Becky, too. When anyone comes to the township, she always gives them the recycling card.
Yeah.
Comes to what's going on, so.
And we actually picked up just a handful of cards, I did it the other day, as a matter of fact, to have at recycling for those who can't get here during the open hours. That way, if they come through, they're from Mayfield Township, they can, show us driver's license and get the cards.
And those cards actually came from the old program
Oh,
back in the
okay.
day. And then when Jim came, he's like, okay, well, how are we going to, we can't be looking at these driver's licenses. I was like, wait a minute, we have boxes of those.
And all the other ones that, Attica has their own, we need to get
Because we all-
Metamora to change from yellow, because you have yellow and they have.
We put a sticker on ours.
Yes, we do.
So,
It's easier to see.
yeah, because I thought we all had yellow.
No.
Back in the day, when we all
Yeah.
ran the Deerfield, program.
Each township loved it, they had it.
I thought everybody had yellow, but all the townships, because that was interesting to see. So,
We'd like to get more townships, we're working on it. So, you guys led the way. Thank you.
Well, appreciate it, so sweet, I mean, 'cause I participated when it was Deerfield, when it was at the cinema, when it was at the center building, and
Yeah, so
nobody has a, program like they do up there, where you just get so in and out to happen to be at the right board meeting